Yo, Joe. Talking comics, here's your host. It's A Real American Brian.
All right, let's get back into G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. Issue number 13. Mike Vosberg and John D'Agostino provide the cover, and the license plate on the taxi kind of has their little signature there. We see the Joes in a taxi firing at someone behind them while driving towards a plane. Last Plane from Rio Lindo. Larry Hama is writing. Vosberg and D'Agostino are providing the interior art as well. We are picking up where we left off in the last issue, so we get a little recap. Hot on the trail of a scar-faced Cobra messenger carrying a mysterious briefcase, Stalker, Breaker, Gung-Ho, and Snake Eyes stumble onto a secret Cobra operation being run by Dr. Venom and the mercenary Quinn, deep in the jungles of Sierra Gordo. The Baroness and Scarface bombed their own bunker, and Snake Eyes was still on the island. So were Dr. Venom and Quinn. You know, just before the bomb hit, it looked like Quinn was trying to push Snake Eyes and Venom back into the bunker. So what? The whole island's been vaporized. It's gone, Gung-Ho. Bunker, Venom, Quinn, and Snake Eyes, and whatever secret the Baroness was trying to protect. Scarface and Baroness are talking about her missile shot that took out the island and the three most dangerous men she knows. Dr. Venom, Quinn, and Snake Eyes. They circle back looking for survivors. The three Joes from the boat all go underwater to hide from the plane. Scarface is ready to plot a course for Springfield when Baroness sees the living Joes on the infrared detector. She asks Cobra Commander for permission to circle back and finish them off, but her request is denied. As the three Joes are climbing out of the water to get under cover, Stalker is pulled under and comes up in the grasp of a crocodile. Stalker continues going through the full scientific name of crocodiles while fighting the giant animal. Finally, he pronounces it as dead, and then falls to the ground on the shore himself. Hours later, he wakes up to see his wound has been treated, and there is Crocodile roasting in their camp next to an old Cobra research station. Stalker gets upset that they lit a fire. Now anyone close by knows they are here. Gung-Ho left to go downriver looking for a radio to let G.I. Joe headquarters know what is going on. Gung-Ho hops out of the back of the truck and offers his unsuspecting transporters his marine lighter as payment for the ride and some of their clothes. Baroness and Scarface have arrived back at Springfield. Baroness is expressing concerns about Scarface to Cobra Commander, and we see another cameo of Destro as he interjects himself into the conversation. Stalker and Breaker back at Sierra Gordo are digging a trench and some traps. A mercenary group on the ridge spots the research station. The mercenaries hope to find some information on Cobra that they left behind at the research station. Gung-Ho enters the radio station asking them if he can use their radio. The conversation doesn't go well, and the man in charge tells the guards to take him out. Gung-Ho shoots all the guards and smacks the man in charge, taking over the station. Hawk gets Gung-Ho's message and starts putting a team together. Scarlet, Rock and Roll, Grunt, Doc, and Torpedo are going to join him as they all head down to Sierra Gordo to extract the Joes. We get a glimpse of Torpedo here, but not the best shot. Scarlet questions why Hawk said we have 3 Joes in a tight spot when 4 Joes were sent down there. He won't discuss it, only saying he will brief everyone on the plane. We see Gung-Ho in a taxi driving through the jungle. Cobra Commander reveals that Scarface was operating under hypnotic suggestions, and the briefcase actually meant nothing. He wanted the Joes to live, and he left clues for them to follow at the research station. He wants them to follow that trail away from the real Cobra target. Destro interrupts to tell the commander the mercenaries have been spotted by the research station and have enough firepower to take out the Joes. Cobra has to keep the plan alive and discuss dropping Cobra paratroopers in to take out the mercenary force. Breaker has found something in the station. They have found a courier bag with a memo in it. It is too obvious to be real, but they spot a microdot on the page that may have the real information on it. Stalker lets Breaker know that he thinks his leg is infected. The Joes on the rescue mission begin jumping from the plane, we can see a tear on Scarlet's face, as she has been made aware of Snake Eye's fate. Gung Ho's taxi has come to the end of the road, but he needs to go further. Gung Ho jumps out and takes a bulldozer. The mercenaries are looking at the Joe's entrenchment when they notice the paratroopers and decide they must attack immediately. Torpedo and Doc hit the water, and we are going to call this our first appearance of Torpedo. Torpedo goes underwater as Doc prepares the raft. A second group of mercenaries have run into the first. They reluctantly agree to work together. Torpedo has found the bunker still in one piece underwater, and just as he begins to investigate, gets the message from Doc to surface. Doc points out the two groups of mercenaries, and they see the second group begin to attack the first. Back under the water, we hear tapping coming from the bunker. Rock and Roll, Grunt, and Scarlet have landed at the airfield. As Torpedo and Doc are coming out of the river, they see Gung Ho on a bulldozer. They all approach the research station and find Breaker and Stalker. Hawk is in the plane circling the airfield and calls down to Scarlet that he has spotted a taxi being chased by two armored mercenary cars. Back at the research station, the second group of mercs see the Joes have escaped. Cobra will be pleased. So they were sent by Cobra to take out the first group and make sure the Joes got the clue. But they fall into one of the Joes' traps. The Joes in the taxi hit the airstrip and Hawk is circling to land. The Joes from the tower go down and all cram into the clown car taxi. They toss the driver out and throw some money at him. The plane can't stop. The armored cars will overtake them if it does. So Hawk lowers the ramp and the Joes in the taxi have to speed up and drive onto the plane. Just as they are about to run out of runway, they are on board. The Joes are in the air. Doc is working on Stalker's wound. Stalker hands over the memo with the microdot to Hawk. And back in the underwater bunker, we hear more tapping. And that is issue 13. The Joe's rescue mission was successful, but there's still someone in that bunker under the water. What is Cobra up to? They have the Joes on a wild goose chase while they are plotting something bad somewhere else. My favorite panel from this issue is Scarlet jumping from the plane with the tear on her cheek. Such a subtle story element we know the background of, but we don't need to be beat over the head with the narration box. Just perfect. I was tempted to choose Torpedo's first appearance as he is one of my favorite Joes. That was a nice fast-paced adventure with the Joes split up into smaller teams, all working to get out. I really enjoyed this one. We have Cobra outsmarting the Joes and the Joes on a mission to save one of their own. It was a lot of fun. I'm going to give this one 4.5 flag points. That is issue 13. Knowing is half the battle, and now you know. Subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video where we dive into issue 14 and find out who is still alive in that bunker.
So long from Brian. Until next time, same Brian time, same Brian channel.